Chess Diagnostic.
Hello everybody and welcome to Chess Diagnostic. So I'm just making a quick video before I'll be traveling today, and this is in regards to just how I've studied openings, and of course I've been studying the chess structures. So I'll just cover one example, which is the Gruenfeld Center. So the thing I like about this book, and it's not the only book to do this, there's also Pawn Structure Chess by Andy Soltis, which I read a couple years ago. But the thing I really like about this study method is that you look at a pawn structure and you study the main structure and the plans, and then you look at specific games. So I'm just going to cover the general ideas of this structure, which is the Gruenfeld Center. So if you're white, your main idea, there's two plans, but your main idea would be to play d4 to d5 eventually, creating a central pass pawn, and eventually you'll be able to use that d-pawn to cause lots of problems in the center and just gain space basically in the center with your pass pawn. So it sounds simple, right? Yeah, of course. So the thing is that these plans are very helpful to know when you're playing a practical game, because you're not just going to have the pawn structure. There's going to be a bunch of different pieces, and your opponent will have his own plans. So the second plan for white would be to create a kingside attack, and you'll probably do that by pushing the h-pawn, h4, and then h5. Another idea is to play e4 to e5, and for example, if there was a knight, you'd chase it back, and then you could play something like f4 eventually. So there's just these different ideas that you'd have when you're playing a Gruenfeld Center, and then when you study specific lines, you know the overall ideas instead of just moves that you'll be making. And it looks like here it says that you'll play e4 to e5 to gain control of the f6 square, which is usually weakened when black develops his bishop on g7. So you normally do that to cut off the bishop as well if black fianchettos his bishop. Alright, so those are the two main plans for white. Now what about for black? Well, black has a little more generalized plans. An idea would be to create a queenside pass pawn, especially if white or black trades into an ending, because black has more pawns on the queen side and white is a little weaker there with his own pawns. Of course, white has this crazy strong center, so attacking that would be another idea, which is the second plan for black. So just putting pressure on the center. So an idea would be generally to place a rook on the d file and pressure this pawn, and just basically find attacking resources to play in the center and just put pressure on the queen side or in the center. So these plans sound general at first, and they are, but it's very helpful to know what you're generally going for, whether you're playing white or black, because if you know the plans for both sides, you can kind of figure out what the opponent's going to do without even calculating. And this is what grandmasters do, strong masters. They know these plans, and in addition to knowing the specific opening line, they're able to figure out how to play strongly in the middle game, and hopefully their endgame skills are up to snuff, because if they get an endgame, then they'll be more familiar with the structure that arises. The only drawback I have with the idea that you can study a pawn structure and know what to do is that, of course, when you study a pawn structure, it doesn't really cover the main idea of chess, which is activity. And I see players that I've taught and just that play, that I've beaten, they get so obsessed with the pawn structure and they think that that's the main idea of the game. Now, I would just remind you to always keep fresh in your mind that activity is the most important idea of the game, and namely piece activity. The pawn structure just provides the general idea of what to do with your pawns, supported by your pieces, and if you don't have that general idea, it's okay. You can still focus your understanding on increasing your activity, and you'll be surprised how far that gets you. Alright, so just making a quick video here. I'm going to make more videos after I get back from the tournament. in this vein, covering pawn structures and then going into games. But I just wanted to cover how I've been studying before I play the World Open. All right, I just wanted to thank everybody for wishing me luck, and I'll try to keep some updates as I go and maybe show some of the city or the tournament, kind of giving a report on how it looks and everything. All right, I'll see you in the future. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for future videos. See you in the future.